It's almost 3. And I am so emotional today. Tonight, whatever. Oh my God, I am so emotional. I can't. And last night was so fucking weird. Still waking up constantly. And I can't believe how much medicine she's going through. Like, this is insane how much medicine she's going through. I don't even know if that's like the smell that's coming out of her. But also, my pee is smelling like this. I don't know if it is a chemical or if it's minerals, but has a smell of something. And so does hers. And she keeps peeing right outside the door. And sometimes I open the door and I smell that smell. And it's like, what the hell is this? And then she gets really uncomfortable. I made up this Sprite, and she's a big girl. And so she can't just get down there and clean her business like a lot of other dogs that can do that. And so I have this spray and made like this apple cider vinegar, and it's homemade apple cider vinegar too. And so I spray that around her vagina, and then she licks it and gets it all cleaned up and stuff. And so I spray it. And so she keeps wanting me to spray it and spray it and spray it. Like it's something bothering her. And I was trying to figure, because like I've said, I know the things that they attack our filtration system. Like Winston died of, they didn't even know for sure if it was bladder or kidney or what, but in that area of our evacuation area of our body. And seeing there's filter systems, and so they clog them up and stuff. So then we get like a backup, like in the sewage system, it gets backed up and it gets clogged up. And then they say, oh, you got a tumor, you got cancer, you're dying. When we need to be cleaning the system. And so, yesterday, I think, I'm getting so confused on everything. I'm telling you, I'm losing it. I'm seriously losing it. And I think I gave her 2 doses yesterday of the horse paste. And I was like, fuck, man. Maybe that's intense. I don't know, but she's being so extremely whiny, and I keep losing my mind over it, and that I'm sure hurts her feelings and stuff. I'm sure, like, it's intense around here right now. It's just like, oh my God, everything is so fucking intense, and the energy is so intense, and everything is just like, fuck, I feel like I'm at my last frazzle, you know? It's like I'm so frazzled and I'm on the last frazzle. And I'm just like, oh my God. And nobody ever likes to see themselves like stomping around like blah, blah, you know. And I keep stomping, and it's like the 3 of them bring so much out of me, of myself as a mom. Back when I was overwhelmed by having the kids, because always when you get outnumbered, they like turn into a little gang on you. And it can be so overwhelming, and you can feel so alone on that stuff. And that always brings out that I have this side in me that I don't know is used and abused. And it is triggered when I'm feeling used and abused. And I definitely, I haven't been slamming any doors or anything, but that's what I used to do. I have gotten and stomped over the tea and I don't know how to, I mean, I'm just trying to learn how to regulate all my emotions too. And you can't stuff it down. Like, that's not the thing to do when you're having anger, sadness, or any of those things. It's not to stuff them down and get rid of them. It's to process, and then, I don't know, trying different things. And I can definitely see myself, I can witness myself, and I can decide on the parts that I want to feel better about so that I don't feel like that I'm some sort of emotional maniac or something. So anyways, but this energy is definitely pushing. I can't imagine people not feeling just fried right now and being pushed into the depths of hell in their soul. And just every little thing, it's like prickly. Everything's so prickly and so irritating, and everybody's just like, oh, and it's just like, oh, this is so odd. It's so extreme. And I'm always, my thing that I start bitching at is my guides or the universe, God himself. That's where I go to. Like, what the fuck is going on? And so, anyways, there's so much about this trust, like, and it's hard. It's hard to do some of this stuff to just be like, oh, sometimes I will be stomping around and be like, I can't even believe I sit here and say everything's going to be fine. Why doesn't it feel like it? So, anyways, it's intense energy. That's all I can tell you. Yeah, I gave this morning when I got up, which last night when I did sleep. Oh yeah, there was a couple things about that. So when I did sleep, it was like immediately I was somewhere else, in having the most vivid, weirdest experiences, and it was like, I don't know, like being taught something by going through a school and kicking a ball around in the empty halls or something, and you're just walking around doing that, and it's like, but you're learning something. I don't know how to explain some of these dreams. They're so fucking weird. And then be somewhere else, and I was doing something else. They were all so vivid, and I totally felt like I was somewhere else. And I was like, I just want to stay asleep. I want to go back to these places. It's so much better. Like, this is so fucking intense here. And so, anyways, it was beyond any experience that I have been having lately, for sure. And it was intense. And I was like, fuck, I just want to get back to sleep, because I'd get woke up. One of the times, too, it was like, God, in the period of time that she has of sleeping, and you listen to the, and then, because you gotta give her some medicine, and then as soon as it's wore off, she's awake and crying at you. And in that period of time, I couldn't even get to sleep one of the times. And I was just like, fuck, fuck, fuck. And the more I get myself wound up, the harder it is to get to sleep. Like, you have to totally keep yourself, like, in this other kind of state in order to just go back and just fall back asleep. And so it's like limited stuff. But I can get up and do a bunch of things. Get up and go pee, go let her out, go lay down, go do, and then just go right back to sleep. It feels like it's always this emotional thing. It's an emotional charge if I get myself worked up or something. So, and it can be super frustrating. And it was super frustrating when I just wanted to hurry up and get back to sleep and get back to these crazy dreams. Get the hell out of this fucking doghouse fucking world that I have here. Like, it is, I was feeling so much like, I don't know, I'm just going around cleaning like dog mess after dog mess. Like, I live in a fucking doghouse. That's it. I live in a doghouse, and it is extreme. Some people live in, what was that? I was thinking about this the other day. I can't think of it. I'm too out of it. But anyways, I live in a doghouse. That's where I live. And okay, so let me think what it was. So I was waking up, but there was something else about that. The weird dreams, wanted to stay asleep, and getting woke up, because there was something about that I wanted to say about. Man, I feel, god dang, I feel fucking out of it. I was just, anyways, there was a few different things I wanted to talk about. Anyways, there was one happy story that I had seen this morning when I went on there. It was like, oh my God, I was bawling. I was like, fuck, this is so fucked, man. Fucking hell. And last night when I went off of there, because I couldn't, there's so much fuckery. It's hard to be on there. And yesterday, like, the big trauma is that little 3-year-old. Fuck, man. Yeah, they're a little 3-year-old who was mauled to death. It's a horrible, horrible story. And first time in her dad's house. I just can't even imagine what that other side of the family is going through. And it's so hard, I've always got to kind of put it back into perspective. These aren't really babies. These aren't really children. Everything is a soul. It's all a representation. It's all for the storyline. And it's all for all these different storylines that everybody's got working shit out. Because it's like the closeout. It's like the closeout sale. Come on, work out your shit. Because all of this period of time, this age is closing out. And as souls, I don't think we like to carry around a lot of karmic debt, a lot of baggage. There's beings that don't even come down and play these games because they don't want to accumulate or get into this karmic game, because it is just a set thing in the universe. What you put out of balance, you have to put back in balance. And there's not like a God up there who's going to be like, well, I'll do it this time. No, it's you. You're the only one. And you can keep yourself trapped. If you are, yeah. Oh, so you could keep yourself trapped. Like every soul is on its own thing. But you can keep yourself trapped. Like it's like I see it, like, when somebody gets stuck in the mud and the mud's just going and going and going. And they just get a hold like what's out here. And that hole is like a soul who can't get out of that debt pool or something. Like, it's weird because like it's almost like you could get yourself trapped there. Like, I don't know if that's when there has to be some kind of action. Like, I don't know if sometimes they do go down and pull out energies and put them into some kind of a thing, because supposedly there's some kind of spinner or something, like it cleans stuff up. I don't know all of the stuff there. I just know the stuff that I can see or whatever. I can't just make shit up. So that so anyways, there's like souls, I guess. You can get yourself dug into a hole in the depths of this place, but there's a lot of souls that don't want to come into it because I don't know, maybe there's some, I don't know. I mean, there's some that think they're trapped here and stuff, so I don't know how long there's so many. And then you've got some higher selves that have a whole bunch of players in the game and stuff. Like, there's a lot going on here. Like, way more beyond what people can comprehend. I mean, they're just trying to figure out such, here, simple and peculiar things. But it is, it is a simpler life, and they made it complex. And there is a lot of peculiarity. God, that word, it seems like you could say it easier until you start trying to say it. Peculiar. And I don't think I've ever, I don't know if I've ever said that word before, but anyways, it's harder to say for me. So peculiar world, for sure. We're definitely in a peculiar world. Peculiar things are definitely happening, but and then the other thing, the thing that I saw that was so sad this morning too, two women. Well, the first one I saw was a happy one, and it was an update on one, and this is one of these magical stories. And it is a woman, and she had a horse back when she was like 12, 13 years old. She was great. Well, I think it was a lot longer than that. She had the horse, I don't know, 4 years or something, maybe 5 years or something. So she had this horse when she was a kid, and she loved it. And then her dad made her choose between a car and a horse. And she kept choosing the horse, but it became a certain period of time where she had to choose to get a car. So he made her sell the horse to get the car. And so she didn't know like who the horse went to or anything like that. And so now she has a daughter, and her daughter's 6, and her daughter was riding, and her mom was showing her a picture of her and telling about her horse. And then the daughter was like, well, why don't you find your horse? And the mom was like, light bulb, like, yeah, why don't I find the horse? Maybe I should find the horse. So she starts like trying to find stuff, trying to figure it out and figure out where the horse went and stuff like that. But there's a lot of stuff because it's been 20 years and she wasn't sure. And so she tracked it down. Oh, it was really cool too how she did. Like, she put a picture of it on Facebook, and that picture. And within 5 minutes, somebody messaged her and said, oh, that horse sends the picture back or something of his daughters with that horse. That horse is in our family. And the lady was like, what? And so then she starts talking to the lady who has the horse, and and the lady's like, oh, you can come visit the horse anytime and all this stuff. And the lady starts telling her about, it was my horse when I was a kid, blah, 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 blah. And then the lady was like, well, that he's been out to pasture for a year. Nobody's ridden him in a year. You can have him. And the woman was just like, so anyways, today was the reunited. She found out yesterday, and she was getting him today. And it's just got me to cry again, just picturing it. Because, I don't know, horses are kind of like elephants. They're all souls. They're all beings, And so, he remembered her and stuff. And it was cute. So I can show that video too if you want to see it. But I was crying from that right away. Then I go, Amy had sent me that video. And so then I went on to the main thing. And first one was, what was that one? Because it seemed like there was another one that was just weird first. But then after that, I think was the second one was this woman. This one's so sad. Man. So she doesn't say anything. It's just her showing emotion. And the words in front of her, it's probably because she can't talk, says that the devil couldn't get to me. So at 12:45 a.m. or something like that, 3:45 a.m., some kind of, he took my daughter and my grandkids in a DUI. Somebody hit her head on and killed her. Or the drunk person hit them. I don't know if it was head on. I don't know why I just thought head on. It hit him and killed the lady's family. And so, there's no getting away from the trauma that we're here to experience. Like, it's not that we're running from the devil, and if we do this, he won't catch us or something. No, we're all here to experience what we're here to experience, and we can't get away from it. We can't hide from it. We got to go at it head on. We got to go head on collision into the ordeal, which the traffic or the storm, it's very strange how it seems to keep going over to these same areas. So I don't know if the storm is bypassing the north now and just going down to the south to hit them. Like, it seems really strange. And the way more intense stuff too with the storm. I was trying to think. Oh, because it's gonna be an ice storm too. I just said, like, when they were doing the snow, and then they were doing the rain, and then they were doing the snow again, I was like, fuck, man. Ice storms fucking suck. Fucking suck. They're bad. And so a big, huge part's having a big ice storm. And they said there's being no traveling on these highways, all these highways going. And they said this is going to close places down. You've got to have food and stuff for a few days. And it's going to knock power out, like all the stuff that, like, we already know. This is like the shenanigans. And then there was another fucking sad one after. And this one is one, though, that pisses you off. Doesn't just make you sad. This one is some fucking bullshit, man. And with the woman is fucking traumatized. And so she is talking and she's crying and stuff. So her daughter, who's 15 years old, she snuck out with her other 15-year-old friends. So 4 15-year-olds snuck out, 2 boys and 2 girls, and they all snuck out, and somebody took somebody's car. So one of them took their parents' or siblings' car or something, and they all went and snuck out, went to the park. So they're sitting in the park, and the cop comes and starts questioning them or whatever, takes the 2 boys with them to the station and has them call their parents. Then there's a cop back here at the park saying he's waiting for the tow truck to come tow this car, and it has the two girls just sitting there. And so the one girl, she calls her grandma and says, can you come get me or something? And the grandma can't drive, so she asked the cop, can you just bring her and drop her off at my house because I've got cataracts, I can't drive at night. And he said no, that he couldn't do that. Which, don't forget, in my story, I mean, they had the helicopters out looking for me, and the last person who had talked to me, besides the guy who had picked me up, was a cop who had pulled up while I was walking down this road way out in the middle of nowhere. And he pulled up and said something to me. And I said, will you just drive me home? And he said, no. I don't remember if he said I'm not a taxi or something, but he said no. And I had no phone. I had nothing. And so he left me way out in the middle of nowhere. And then whatever, a half hour later, they got helicopters out looking for me. It's like, I wonder if this cop told anybody. Like, this is some fucking, like, it's nonsense, man. So the cop went, and because back in the day, like, that's what we would have assumed cops were there to take care of us, take care of our neighborhoods, watch our community, take care of our kids. If they caught them like that, take them home, tell their parents. That's what it used to be. Like, watch the old movies. Cops come to your door, give them a talking to. Like, you could call the cops up and say, my kid's misbehaving. When you come and give them a talking to, you're going to go to jail one day, son, if you don't get your shit together. You know, now it's like they're just out there fucking writing us tickets, trying to arrest us all the time, just out there to take shit from us. They're corporate fucking, they're a bunch of brown shirts. Like, that's all they fucking are. And they walk around with their ego pumped up like they're important. And it's like, dude, you got to start figuring out who you're working for. You're working for the devil. Seriously. So anyways, this woman's granddaughter, the cop says no. So the grandma says, okay, well, I'm going to find somebody to drive me and I'll be there in a minute. And then 15 minutes, she's at the park. Nothing's there. The car's gone, which somebody whose car it was came and picked it up themselves and drove it home. It didn't get towed away. She calls the cop. The cop said, oh, I had to go to a more important call. And so there's a robbery happening. He had to get over there. So he left the girls. He didn't know where the hell they are. All this happened just in this brief moment, which the thing that pisses me off is because I feel like, because the mom is crying. It's been 30 hours. She can't find her daughter. She's in front of the cops' place. No cops will help her. Nobody's doing anything. And she's begging online, you know, if anybody sees her, if anybody knows anything and stuff. And the thing that gets me is because you always got to think about the words. Okay, so inform those people that I have talked about before. And so if you want to say it faster, it's an I-N, and then form, and then nt. And then those people are criminals that the cops use for to, like, infiltrate the crime. Bullshit. It's just more extension of more fucking bullshit. Because the one, that guy the one I had talked about, was, and this was a few years ago when I was talking about that my daughter just happened to know these 3 different people that completely had nothing to do with with each other, and that each of them either had a friend or a daughter. One of them was a person she worked with, is her daughter. One of them was the girl she was the big sister to on that Big Brother program thing, her friend. And then another one was somebody else, I think their friend or something. I can't remember, but 3 different girls all done in by this one guy who is one of those people. And he doesn't ever have to face anything because he's one of those people. He's got an in. So, an in. Yeah, starts with the word. So he's in with the guy, so he gets to go around and do whatever the fuck he wants. And then also, which happens to be in Washington State, there's a woman who I was following, and so her son was driving and he's, well, it's like university or traveling or something, and going, maybe he was going home, I don't remember, but he was traveling, and I don't know if he picked these two guys up or what the hell, if they just carjacked him or whatever. But so then he ends up dead in the desert, and they are out driving around in his car and get caught. And the mom, the big thing about what the mom has been trying to get justice and they won't do anything is because those two guys are the same thing. It's like license to kill situation. Like once they say, yeah, you're with us, just watch out how many people you take down. So anyways, when they've got them on their cells, they're friends with these people, and they've got kickbacks and stuff like that. And then there's a whole thing, girls that are out like that, well, they're obviously easy. They obviously are looking for it. So, we'll just call these guys. We'll get them working. No problem. We'll just scoot them over to that state over there. We don't know where they went. And then we will, it's such a fucking criminal enterprise that's going on. And I mean, to leave the girls and take the guys and leave these two girls in a park at 3:45 in the middle of the night like that, no. Like, I think that cop sat there and waited until the girls got picked up by somebody. I mean, I don't know. I don't know how it's going to play out. Hopefully I'll hear more about it. But all this kind of stuff is what keeps coming to the surface, as all of these criminals, we're surrounded by a bunch of fucking criminals. And the one sad, another one of these family annihilations, there's going to be so many. They're just going to keep being them for all different reasons. It's not just one reason. But but that one where I said, when this whole family goes, and then when it's annihilation like that, it's not like, it's so tender, man. It is, most of those people who are doing something like that in a severe emotional state, they are not going to, it's not like they all leave their bodies and they all go like, oh, cool, let's go. No, it's different than that. Even my grandmas had said, because when I was talking through the medium to them, and I said something about if my grandma was with my grandpa, and she says, it's not like that up here. It's not, you're not like a couple like that. Like, that's not what you are. So I think we come here to experience these, love affairs and stuff like that. But up there, we're independent light beings and souls and stuff. I don't know. I mean, there's different places that are high vibration, because in the Pleiades that they are high vibration and they have relationships, but that still is like, it's like a reality or something. I think it just depends on what state, what form you keep yourself in or something. Like, are you zipping around, and then just like what these ones do, we do the same thing. There's nothing to fear. These are just like, these are our people. Where we're at, like, these people we need to fear. These ones are a bunch of fucking psychos. But these ones are the same as us. So they aren't something that we need to fear. Because it's crazy, because so many people are so scared of them. And also, I saw somebody talking about that they were really scared of the grays and stuff like that. One thing you got to remember too, a lot of these beings, that they don't have emotions. They don't feel anything. And so that is something that they find so interesting about us, is that we feel, we care. They've never cried. They don't know what is this crying thing. And I don't know, in all these different things, it seems that they find it fascinating that we are able to go into this thing, this container thing, and experience. So it seems that they all don't have that ability. So right there, that shows you that, you gotta step up there. Like, you have abilities that, other beings look at like, wow, I wish I could do that. And you're forgetting how, important you are and how cool you are and the things that you can do, because we're built, or it is like we have a limitation cage that is containing us. It's built around us. And that is like, because the containment of the consciousness, but it's in all different levels. Everything is this different levels, this micro, macro, but the thing between the micro and macro is everything. It's all the steps, it's everything. And so there's so much of everything. And it all is what level you're at and what you focus on and what you see and what you understand. And everybody's has value. And so it's not something that we need to, argue about or whatever. But we get into these situations and then we do. But this, yeah, man, I don't know how to explain it. I can see it. I can understand. But it's like this, it's so much about this breaking through to the true you and finding the true you. And that is like the ascension. That is the finding yourself in the dark. And all of the wounds that were created in the dark, you have to heal them. They have to heal. You can't just blow stuff off. It's impossible. So when you keep just stuffing things away and stuff, see, you carry them from life to life to life. And you have to work it through. You have to put things back in balance. And when things are happening, you have to understand that the universe is, it's always creating balance. So it brings in opportunity for you to put in balance. And so, but people get themselves caught up. Like I said, people get caught up in this thing, like somebody killed somebody in this life, and then they come back and they're in this same fucking thing, and then this person kills this person, and they just keep going like this over and over and over and over, and in life after life after life. And that is so, in this time, when you stop and you look at things and you think about like this emotional stuff that you're feeling with this person, and you start trying to distribute it different, you start trying to understand it different, and get yourself out of these patterns, out of this tit for tat life continuation, because it's like breaking free from these things and taking more of a step into it's all about this consciousness of awareness. It's all of this further aware of the things that you do and taking more control over it. And taking control over it doesn't mean that you squash it. It doesn't mean you make it go away. It is emerging. It's emerging. Oh, yeah. Okay, because I was seeing it as like an artist taking all these colors and mixing it and making this fantastic color that's just this unique color. And if you've ever painted, then like when you make this color, it's hard. There's a lot of times it's really hard to, if you run out of it, it's really hard to, for me, I mean, some people maybe I'll do it, but it's hard for me to get exactly the same. So anyways, but that mixing it and then that uniqueness of that color, that we all are that uniqueness, that color, and that color is our vibration, and we are like this big mismatch or big mashup. But but that's the thing, is you want to take all of your parts, all your bits and pieces, and you want to put them together, and it's like scramble them up and make them into who you are. It's not like you have to be this perfect idea, or you have to be this Zen person, or you have to be all these things. You have to be all what you are, because you are a whole bunch of different things. You're not just one thing. And anybody who goes around, this is the one thing that stood out to me too with this spiritual movement that they created, was these Zen characters, like they're always in character. And what I could see, like, you're not really experiencing, you're in a character. So you're holding yourself back from your experience. And so, but to me, it's quite obvious because nobody is all fucking zen all the goddamn time. Nobody's always like, oh, and how are you today? Let's talk about it. Like, that is fucking phony to me. It's like, I don't know. I'm just going to be real. I'm not all like, oh, but, I do feel zen a lot of times too. Like, it is all in, being real and being who you are, being in the moment. And if I don't feel zen, and I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I do. I'm going to say, like, this is some bullshit, man. And I think I do say that. And so, anyways, that is more about, like, because when you are picking and choosing parts of you to hate, then you are in judgment of yourself. And then you are, which that is the creation of this more hostile. It is hostile because then you make up this line of it has to be this way, and then you create an expectation that everybody needs to meet the same line that you have decided for yourself. So you've created, you're creating your own box, and then you want other people to fit into your box in order to be acceptable to you. And instead, we need to just learn how to accept ourselves. We're a mashup. We've got a whole lot of different parts of us, and we aren't perfect. Nobody's expecting you to be perfect except for you and the people that you let into your life that put that kind of expectation on you. But that's toxic relationships. That is a lack of boundaries. That is a heaviness in control. And what was that one? Because there's like these weird relationship things keep coming up that people keep talking about. Because everything is like, you got to see that this is all about humanity beginning to talk about things and noticing things and stuff. And there's this one, and it's viral, I guess. And this girl, she goes to this New Year's party, and she's all dressed up. She's all dolled up. And she sneaks up on her boyfriend, who's standing there and talking to his friends and stuff. And when he turns around, she's all like jacked up, like she's just surprised the hell out of him. She's just giddy with excitement and making silly faces and everything else. And he's just looking at her like, what the fuck, man? You just spoiled my fucking night. What the fuck? And everybody could see, everybody could feel his emotion. And even women were showing their husband, what do you think he's feeling? Everybody, there was a general consensus. Everybody was like, he's not happy. He's not happy she's there at all. And she wasn't getting it. She's sharing this video like this cute moment of surprise. And that was the response. Everybody was like, girl. You got to get yourself a new boyfriend. You got to get one that's excited to see you. And she started becoming defensive. And then she started trying to put up other videos and stuff. And then people are still like, no. And, but there's a whole bunch of these different things going around. Like that one weird guy with the, oh yeah, okay. The Hawaii, wife, or no, she's Filipino, I think. And, these guys, and man, I swear to God, some of these guys, it's the same fucking thing as you want a younger girl. You want somebody who you can control. And there has been, it's come to a head in America. Definitely, there was a lot of things that had to come to a head. And this, but it's going full circle. So it's still other people having to have it come to a head. And so there is, there's lots of people talking about it, but it's even got a name now, Passport Dad or something. And Passport Bro, that's what it's called, Passport Bro. And then you have all these women desperate to get out of their countries putting these ads on. And some of them, they are opportunistic. They just want to get over here and get their card, and they don't give a crap. And which Africa now has started, I can't remember which place, but Africa now, anyone who's black, anyone who has any dark skin, black heritage, you get to go and be a citizen of Africa now. I told you it's going to be opening up. It's going to have to do with our heritage and stuff. There's going to be a lot of stuff. It's going to open up. We're not going to be restricted in like we're only allowed to go here and there. Oh, and there's some other interesting things also coming out about Irish and Scottish in the links in that back to a long time ago, the original people or whatever. So anyways, there's more and more people just keep looking into things and looking into things, but coming at it from a different perspective. Because you can't just come at it from a general perspective or you miss out because they're selling us a story. So you have to go in deeper and look around and stuff. And people are good at that. Like there's some people who are so good at it. And so the oh yeah, because this one that I had seen was this girl. And so she was talking about that she had a passport bro dad. And so I was like, listening to her because I'm like, what the hell's a passport bro dad? And so she said her dad said that he had, I don't remember, one of them had said they had met in the military or something. So because a lot of men were bringing these women from other countries at this certain time anyways, when maybe it was World War II or something, a lot of them brought wives and stuff back from some of these places. I think Vietnam too. I think a lot of guys did. Not like a whole bunch, but anyways, there was also a lot of fucking shadiness, like guys going over there, impregnating girls, leaving them. So there's a lot of kids over there who had American dads who they never got to meet or know or anything. And it was like, there's so much, see, it's all of people. It's all, it's when we have integrity, things change. So, and that's what we're learning, is how to have better integrity and morals and be more in alignment with ourselves and not feeding this depravity that they put the food out for. So so anyways, there was a lot that went, so this dad though, her dad, he had, he's something with pen pals. So he had 3 pen pal ladies he was talking to, a Japanese, a Korean, and a Chinese women. And so then he chose I think he chose the Korean one. I can't remember which one she said, but it ends up being her mom. Maybe it was the Chinese one. I don't remember. But it was probably the one that was the most humble, the one that was the most like, because that's what these people are looking for. They don't want to be challenged. That's why I've said for a long time, when you start seeing men going with women who aren't at their same level, then it's like they don't want to be challenged. They can't interact with a woman who challenges them, so they got to drop it down a notch and go for one that they can control more. And so because just think about it. So anyways, so this woman said that so she was raised with this white dad and an Oriental mom. And so she said that the dad always treated the mom like shit. And so that taught the daughter to also treat the mom like shit. And she said what was even more compounding was everywhere they went in public, the public treated her mom like shit. And so it just confirmed to her that her mom was shit. And so she treated her mom like shit more. And so that is something now that she's coming into this realization. These are the kinds of things, see, that you come back into these realizations that you have to process through, that you have to heal through, that you have to face these sides of yourself. And they're deeper than what people think, like you think like you're just a kid, but no, we are souls that go into these patterns with other souls to play these things out so we can see these sides of ourselves, so we can see, because in the perfect of all situations, oh yeah, you can be all great, but what about when things are hard? Then who are you? What about when things are rough or sticky? Then are you the same? And that is another thing. Also, when you try and ignore everything that's going on, it's not bringing that stuff to the surface in you so that you can see it and recognize it. And so you got your Zen characters over there who think they're all like high vibing because they're ignoring everything that's low vibration, but you're not healing the stuff that you need to heal. And so that is going to smack dab them, come up and hit them in the rear. Is going to diddy them. So so this woman now is having to face this side. Hopefully her mom's still alive and that she can, go in and heal and mend that stuff. But also, being one of those moms, not an Oriental one, but being a mom who was younger and being walked all over by the husband, and the kids were like, yeah, stupid ass. And no, they weren't saying that, but there was definitely, there was a definite non-respect of mother. And so, when I go, like, there's lots of stuff, there's so many things. And so, that, but that role, then I can see my part too, because I was letting myself be a doormat, and I wasn't making anything better. I wasn't like making people into better people or whatever. And that's why I've said that there is more to these things, like when people aren't talking to you or whatever. And there's all these things are for you to see and to recognize things and to understand and not be, I don't know, everything just needs to play out. Everything needs to just be seen. And then just like this woman, like just for her, because she was getting real emotional when she was talking about, and I've seen another girl do this too. And she talked about like having a dad that was like so domineering over the mom and so abusive. And the kids jump on. Kids jump on to that behavior. And, but it's more complex than that, because it's more things playing out than just this one family thing. Because a lot of ways that we experience or we look at things is through the eyes that we already have, and the experiences that we've already contained, what we have as our reference, our resources inside. And so that gives us the view. But when we go through these different experiences, it changes our view. It adds more windows in the plane. We can see more when we go through all these different experiences, because then we go and look through all these different windows. So we have more view of everything. And so that is like all of the things that you carried into this life that created how you experience the beginning of this one, then is all based on who you were when you were birthed in. But then you go through this life and you go through this experience and it starts changing you. And so things start to change and you become a different person than the one you were birthed into this. So you expand, you learn more, you see things from other perspectives. And mostly too, I mean, like, we're always cleaning up karma. That is why it's, I think, important not to build up more. It is, and it seems like hard, but it is that when you get into that tit for tat thing, well, they did this, so I'm going to do that. Then you just let the universe take its own thing. The universe is constantly in this leveling out stuff. So it's not like you have to do the work. You don't have to get even. If there's something that needs to be shown to this person, the universe has got it. It's not like you have to go in, well, I'm going to show them. No, all you got to do is just, just take what you learn from it, take your experience, and get what you can from it, and then let it go. Let it go and let the universe, because the universe can be a fucking bee, man. It can be rough. Because like I've said, a lot of people are about to have this experience in a big way and get to really understand what I'm talking about, is because what you've been putting out is going to come back on you. So all the energy that you've been putting out into the world is going to stream back onto you. It's going to flip, and it's not going to be like over this long period of time, like over your lifetime and stuff like that. No, this is going to be like a very dramatic thing. Just like just like right now, how everything is so intense, everything is like on overdrive, it's so extreme. That is what it's going to be like, that same energy. So when it flips, there is going to be, people are going to feel so overwhelmed by their own energy. And so they're going to feel really overwhelmed by their energy. And it's going to take a minute for them to start really understanding that this is the energy you've been putting out. And so now it's come back on you. And so it's just weird. It's going to be so there's gonna be such a shocking part to so many things, because people are not expecting, especially because they're so distracted looking at all these different things. They've got so many fucking distractions going. Like this whole links with all of this stuff with these BOMBINGSs going on, and all of these certain people, and the certain people coming out, and manifestos, and what is it? Oh, because even the one who, the Cybertruck guy, he supposedly was trying to bring certain, he's trying to create a dramas to get our attention. But I mean, everything out there is these dramas to create and get your attention. And it's either to get you to notice things, see things, to think about things, set your moral compass, look at, heal things or something like that, or it's a distraction, and they're trying to keep you from doing those things. And so, because we got that going on too. We got two forces at play. We got the light and the dark, and they are battling each other for our attention. And so it depends on where you put your attention. And a lot of people don't have the recognition of what's the dark and what's the light. And so it is, that is the confusion. But that is where the clarity comes, when the things flip. And the only way that clarity can come is for you to have to see yourself, is through the sense of reflection, to be able to see yourself, because you know your own self. You know all of the things. You can't trick yourself. It's not like you can trick. I mean, what would even be the point? Like, I mean, there's so many ways. I don't know. There probably is people trying to trick themselves, but you can't trick yourself. And so so when the things flip, when the lights come on and everybody's faced with their own energy and seeing themselves, then that is the biggest healing. That's the biggest way to heal so much of this stuff. And it's way more longer and tedious. Like this, it's going to be dramatic, but it's going to be significant. It has a real purpose, and it's going to make such a huge impact on our society. And so, but there is just, it's going to be crazy, because so many people don't realize, they don't even realize like the magic of this place. They don't realize the spiritual aspect of this place. There's a lot of things. So they just go about, chasing a dream or whatever, and going to work and creating drama, getting drunk with their friends. All these people are still all just going out and going and partying at night and stuff like that. And there keeps being these people coming into clubs, and going with their car. Like, there's so much stuff going on, and people just keep going and going until all these people get affected, I guess, and start stopping and realizing, like, until they're affected in some traumatic way, so they have to face things or something. And they are trying to beef up the sickness, like the same thing they did before. Oh, in China it's overrun, and now New York, California, and what was the other one? Chicago. Yeah. Oh, shocker! I couldn't believe they didn't say Washington State too. They're going to start doing something like they're going to bring back the mandates. And so, there's just all the shenanigans. And what's so fucking maddening about it is we're not getting sick from each other, motherfuckers. We know who's getting sick, and it's you guys. And it's through the fucking air, it's through the food, it's through the water, and it's such fucking bullshit. And then they, oh my God. But see, there's just so much stuff that people have to wake up to. So it's going to be super overwhelming. But it is, not everything is gonna, it's like we've got so many different things to be affected by. So it's not like everybody's gonna be the top tier affected by all these different things. Certain things are gonna affect them more, and that is gonna be a part of their journey. Like just say, for instance, like, you know, somebody in your family, like you're very, very bothered about the vampire people and the reptilians and them, the organ trade and all this, you know, nabbing people and all their disgusting stuff. And then somebody else starts being super affected, but it's all of the medicine, like how it's affected them and their health and how their friend died and like all of that stuff. And that is going to be like their path. So it's not like you have to try and get everybody to see what you're seeing, but it's being true to yourself. So it is like if somebody else is talking about what they are seeing and how they're feeling, then you know it's completely appropriate for you to be saying, yeah, well, this is the stuff that bothers me. This is what is keeping me up at night. This is what I want to go out and patrol the streets and try and make change. And just saying your truth, you know, not trying to force them, make them look at this. Look at this, you stupid ass. Who cares about that? This is more important. All the things are important, and they're all important to our individual storylines. And so it has to do with our own individual storylines, what things are going to affect us the most and what things that we need to process through the most and stuff. So don't try to interfere with what somebody else is focusing on or what somebody else is experiencing, because there's so many different experiencers out there. Like there's so many things on so many different levels being experienced right now. Oh my gosh, it's so crazy. And then you hear all these people just talking about all these different aspects of like different things happening. And so it's like all these different perspectives and different things of looking at things. And however they're going to go, like, I'm sure they're going to try and make this big drama about if they're going to book him on the 10th when he's supposed to be inaugurated on the 20th or whatever. Then Siri or Alexa or one of those bitches is sitting there saying, oh, that doesn't even happen. That's not going to happen. But seriously, like, why does he even have to be sworn in again? Like, he was sworn in the first time, and he should be the whole time, right? Because he was, you know, this whole past 4 years was a shenanigan. So I don't know. And then there's more shenanigans going, like, because Joe's going out with a fucking storm. He's out there giving whatever those fucking, when they have those stupid ass the president's awards or something, and he's giving one to the fake Hillary. She looks so fucking fake. It doesn't even look like the same fucking, this stuff is so stupid. I can't even, God, it's so irritating. Like, oh God, I'm so sick of this shit. God, I cannot wait until this fucking, well, whatever, the big reveal. Let's get to it, man. Like, this is some bullshit, man. But so she's getting some award, and then I don't even know what in the hell is Michael J. Fox came to get one, and it always like, I don't know. I mean, I get he Parkinson's isn't I don't know. It seemed like a spectacle or something, but then maybe to him it's super important to go up and do all that so he doesn't lose what he can still do or something. But then it's so aggravating on all these diseases because so much of this stuff can be cleared up and cleaned up by all this natural stuff, and then they keep them up there like goddamn puppets or something. And it is so sickening too is how the virtue signaling from our government, and it's such bullshit. They are not diverse at all. They don't give a fuck. The only people they give a fuck about are the pervs and the people who will, I swear, suck them off under a table. Like, they don't give a fuck, man. So and they are out to kill most of the people. You know, they want murder and the diversity. Like, they don't want, you know, they prefer droid. That's what they prefer. And oh yeah, there's this woman who is out there doing some, I don't know who this lady is, but she is on some podcast, but now people are sharing her thing. It's like, because when people go out there and they start talking sensible, then and I have said this before, how fucking weird it is, and I don't remember all the stuff I said about it, but these stars, so I didn't even know, like, I knew what, I thought Charlize Theron had one kid, and I thought that was trans. No, she got two, and they're both trans. They're both adopted black boys that now are girls, I guess. And Megan Fox, all three of her kids are trans. And the who's, I know Angelina Jolie, she's got one, and she's supposed to be all zen or whatever. It's like, well, why aren't you teaching your kid to love themselves no matter who they are then? Why are they having a body swap to find their peace? Which, that's a temporary thing. And so and this woman was talking about the absurdity, like, you know, this is ridiculous, like 3 trans kids and stuff. And she says that the way she looks at it is that this is this way that these people try and virtue signal to the rest of us how good of people they are, and that they show each other, because they're not just, you know, this rich famous person, they're caring compassionate person or something, like they carry it around like a handbag or something, that, you know, I've got trans kids, I've got adopted black kids, and you know, like, it makes them a better person or something. I think it's a little more nefarious than that. But anyways, I was still like, oh, that's good that, you know, she's out there saying that. But yeah, I find it a lot more disgusting than just, you know, them needing to go to a luncheon to talk about how fucking special they are because they got trans kids. I think I think it's way more nefarious than that. I think there's like, I don't know. I find there's a lot of sick, ritualistic fucking bullshit in some of these communities, and some of the people is play along. And, you know, I don't know, because I feel so sure that they've already got some of these starlets or whatever that are already having their consciousness put into, like, they're getting older, so they're just going to put it in a younger version of themselves or something. Which, to me, like, if you're doing stuff like that, you are, I don't, like, in these old movies and stuff, like, they've always got them, they're messing with God because they're trying to compete with God, so they're trying to make people. There's one right now, Boris Karloff, he has figured out how to bring life back, which they put this so much in the movies, because they are snuffing our lights out. I mean, this whole death conception is created by them. And so I think that they make sure in the movies to tell us, like, that you can come back and all this stuff, like consciousness lives on. And so, so in this movie, he is going to court because he's killed somebody or something, but it's all in the name of science because he's going to bring him back. And I swear to God, this is not just this one movie. There's so many of these fucking movies, and they're all telling us something. And I think that definitely I was picking up on the vibe of, like, you know, like the scientists trying to figure out, like, you know, how to keep the body alive because the soul's staying alive. But then they started, you know, well, we're just going to take the soul and then we'll make another body and make it alive. Then we'll put the soul in that body. You know, whatever all of their mad scientist shit that they've been doing for a long time. Then, whatever level they're at, we know that they can take consciousness and they can move it around. I mean, they were doing, like, I don't remember what year that one movie was. Was it in the 90s or something? But I swear to God, I've seen it in the 50s. But them saying that in the movies. So, they're already capable of doing that, and they've been doing it for a long while. And so, and then this whole creation, like they've been making the synthetics. So, and the synthetic would be way worse than going in anything organic. Like if you're gonna go into an alter body, have your consciousness put into an alter, I would go into a organic one, not a synthetic one. A synthetic one, how the fuck do you get out of it? Like you're contained. You're held just like a black box held holding you. And so, because people all think like, oh, well, I don't want to die. I don't want. It's like, why would you want to stay in this place forever? Like, there's a way better place. Like, where we come from is way better than this. Like, that's just sad. So these people who, fear death or whatever, and maybe they're so caught up in thinking, well, I'm going to go to hell anyways. But that's not, we're getting out of hell is what we're getting out of. And so but going and thinking like, well, I'm just going to go put my consciousness in this one, unless you're going around and being honest and truthful. But if you're going around trying to act like you're just not aging and you look good, because now Nicole Kidman, now she's coming out looking very weird too. It's like, I mean, they looked real weird for a while because they were doing all these weird surgeries and all these injections and stuff in their faces, and their faces were starting to look real strange. But now all of a sudden, oh, it all went to perfect and they all look like Bold Glamour. I swear to God, I knew there was something up with that Bold Glamour. I knew there was something. And it wouldn't surprise me. Like they create some face through a computer or something. Then they perfect it. They get all these different people to go in and use it, so they get it from every angle. And then they put it. These people could be in 3D printed synthetics for all we know. Like, I mean, some of them I think are that desperate to stay having people say you're beautiful, that they're that desperate that they would do something like that. Like, print me out a good looking, younger version of me so I can stay young and beautiful. I'm not going to tell anybody. Because that was like the secret too back in the day when people get plastic surgery and people wouldn't tell people. I was like, that's absurd. Why? Like, I don't know. I think some things that people try and hide are just so strange. But so but there's lots of people who didn't want anybody to know. And it's like, because that, that makes them feel like that their insecurities are exposed or something. And so, but I can totally see that as being like I've got myself put into a synthetic, and I don't want anybody else to know about it because I want everybody to just think I'm young and beautiful still. And it's like, I don't know, but what it's funny too is because like the med beds, you get a stick in your own, it just raises your vibration, and so it heals all of your cells and stuff, and so you will start looking younger anyways. I don't think some of these women, I don't think these would be the first women in the med beds. I don't think that's how it would be presented to us, like, oh, look, all these beautiful starlets, they're going in the med bed so they can just stay beautiful forever. No, it's going to come a lot more about, because it's about our health, but it's also about like being at this optimum thing. There's that phoniness. There's a phoniness that is being purged out. And so, like, I don't know, is it going to be purged out because these women are going to end up being that they're spending time in these synthetic kind of bodies? But if they pick, even if they pick, a clone and say, well, I'll take a clone of me and put my consciousness in there, and then, but the clones don't stay going. And, oh yeah, because I'm still watching it. I haven't even finished it. It was this Frankenstein movie last night. It's from 1973, the real story of Frankenstein or something. The true story of Frankenstein or whatever. And in this one, the mad scientists are trying to figure out like how to keep things alive, like why, trying to figure out life and death and all that stuff. So it's the same thing all the time. But so they start making this guy, and they can keep other things like an arm alive and stuff like that. So they start he makes this guy, and when the guy comes out, he's real gorgeous. He's beautiful. And then as the cells deteriorate because they don't work, like these cells were dead and then they brought them back. And so they don't work like our cells, where our cells rejuvenate. And, but our cells aren't rejuvenating when we are depleted of minerals because we're just barely hanging on. And so when we're in our proper state of rejuvenation, then our cells rejuvenate. Like, let's look at my tooth. Because even when I feel it with my tongue now, it's feeling like, God, it doesn't even feel like it's barely there. And when I look like it's just, this is way smaller. The black is smaller, and the hole around it is closing in. So the black is changing colors at the same time that this is all, like, it's all they showed me in my head, but I can't show you. So anyways, I can see what they're saying, how it's going to go, and it looks like it's doing it like what they said. So, and I think even like this, I feel like this is almost how it looked before. Like there was that black part, because when I very first got the Knobs toothpaste, I thought that how was I looking at it? Because I thought that there was a filling there that was that with, like, the enamel on my teeth was coming out, like the filling was showing more. And so I was like, man, I'm going to get some of that toothpaste and see if I can't build my teeth back up if my tooth is going off of the filling. And so that's how I was looking at it. And so even when I look at the side, I could see that black line right there. And but then what it ends up being is that the filling and whatever the decay behind it that was pushing the filling out all broke off. And so the whole thing broke, which I think was like a big shatter. Like, it feels so much different with my tongue now. And so then all of the filling and all the cavity went off, but then all of it started regrowing itself. It's like rejuvenating its own self. So to me, it's like, and I don't even feel like I'm in complete complete homeostasis or whatever with my minerals, because I still have remnants of depletion. So until my hair is completely, which I swear to God, I feel like I just want to, it is very tempting to just color it, make it go away. But anyways, we're gonna play it out. We're gonna play through it. We're gonna go the distance. We're going all the way with this thing. So we're gonna keep going until it just disappears by itself, and my tooth is closing in itself. But anyways, that is when we are in a healthy homeostasis kind of situation. See, our cells rejuvenate and we get better. And that is the thing that's supposed to be about this med bed thing too, is it rejuvenates our cells back 25 years. So you will go back to a healthier state wherever you were, whatever. You can't just say 25 years ago, because it would be different. It's all going to be based on lifestyle. There's people who age the shit out of themselves in 5 years, man. So it just depends. To me, though, you taking good care of yourself now is giving the extra nudge. So wherever you're doing to take care of yourself and roll the clock back yourself is going to help you when you go into it. That is going to increase your what your goal is. It's going to increase it. It's going to make you feel younger, look younger, whatever, be in a lot healthier kind of state. So then somebody who has not been doing anything, and then I don't know if everybody is going to be able to go right into a med bed, or if they're going to have to go through other healing modalities to get themselves prepared to go into a med bed. Like, I don't know how it's all going to come out, or if the med beds are going to be just like, that's what you do, and they really are filling up hospitals with them, and then we're going to just have these things. We just go down and go into the med beds and heal and go home. And I don't know. To me, it still seems like, why wouldn't we just all have a med bed at home? Maybe that's what's going to be after they get them all after they get everybody healed, maybe they're gonna put them on sale or something. Like, I don't know. I don't know. There's a lot of things I don't know how it's going to play out. Like, I don't know. It makes sense that they would put the med beds in the hospital though, because I swear to God, if the med beds didn't, if the hospitals didn't make a big switcheroo in our health thing, that I think that these BOMBSs would be being found a lot of places, and because we haven't even got to that part. Like, this is just the opening games, man. We haven't even gotten to the part where people have realized and stuff in their reactions, and that's going to be a part of the healing. Like, that's just one of the steps in the healing. But there will be some extreme, when, because anger is a step, and there is going to be some extreme anger when this goes down. And that is like, right now we are like dodging their infiltrators, the people that they've hired to come in and destroy us. And so, you know, they can be under informant, they can be under TERRO, all these people. It's a certain mindset of, I don't know, mind control, or just don't give a fuck, antisocial, don't give a fuck about anybody but themselves. And so that is a different energy than when the people start processing and they start reaching into that stage of anger in the process. That is going to be very different kind of thing. It's not going to be like where we're all at risk, but there are going to be certain people. There'll be certain people who will be at risk. Like, just imagine, you know, if it comes out, you know, what I'm saying about those girls going missing and stuff, and the cops are involved, because these stories are going to come out. I'm not making these stories up. These stories are real. And I don't know what if it is for this person, but it's awfully suspicious because these stories are real. And then here she is 30 hours later, she can't find her fucking daughter. And I mean, it'd be one thing if it was the next morning and she was saying that, you know, well, you think like, oh, she's probably asleep at somebody's house. But now 30 hours. So, and going to the cop station and stuff, and then, oh, well, yeah, it's not our problem. But see, they just look at it like they're, you know, she's sneaking out at night. She gets what she deserves. And so it's that attitude. It's like serial killer attitude, man. And that's going to be the thing, is like, and the people are waking up, they're not going to be like out to get all of us. They're going to be just like, but the people who fucked them over, the people that hurt them and stuff like that, those people are going to be more at risk. And that is going to be people like these CEOs and these people who have more power, people who have been waving their dicks in our face all fucking long as they're pocketing their pocketbooks are getting fatter, and they're just waving their dicks in our face, and we're just sitting there taking their fucking, or what is that, golden shower all over us, and we're just sitting there taking it. It's like, and people are gonna fucking turn and they're gonna be like, I can't even fucking believe I took that shit. People are gonna go so fucking pissed. And so it's going, but it's got to play out. Like, all this stuff's got to play out. But that, to me, like, there's gonna be places that will be dangerous, but like, when I kept looking at that part, I kept thinking, man, there is gonna be hospitals, doctors' offices, medical clinic, places that are going to go up in flames, man. And there's already so many things that are. There's like collapsing, like there's so much stuff going on. Like, it's like, there's too much to even fucking, it's just a lot. Like, this is the end of this reality, and it's going off hot, man. It's sparking everywhere. And this is the collapsing of it. You know, this is the whole thing fall apart. It's going to fall apart all around us. And then, you know, and it's going to hurt the people who are involved, the people who are holding on, clutching for dear life, the people who are just mindlessly going out and trying to pretend like everything's fine. There's going to be certain groups that are going to be more affected than other groups. And so I say that, you know, as being somebody who is observing and stuff, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to have, like, somebody could, just like that woman, you know, she had a bunch of people in her family just suddenly die and stuff in a tragic situation. And it is hard too, is because, like, you know, there's the part of me who knows, like, oh, you know, they're lucky they got out of the fucking game. Now they're out there having a good time. And well, I'm sitting here feeling all sad and sorrowful and how sad I am for every fucking dirty look I ever gave them, or every time I said something rude. Like, we got to go through all of that whole process. And so there's so much of that. That is so much about what loss is about, is this, because it promotes you to reevaluate yourself, and you look at all of the things that you did and said, and you thought them one way, but then all of a sudden when this loss occurs, you look at them a very different way. And you usually people get really mad at themselves, like, because everybody always wishes that they were better. But this is how we become better. This is how we get there. See, it's all day long, all day and all night. Okay, I hear you. Just a minute. No, Stella, I don't know what it is that you need from me right now. So anyways, I've got to get on my duties, my daily duties, get to it, get to my job. Oh, God. So, I don't know, just, there's going to be a lot to the process. If you've been processing through, it's going to be easier when you're hit with some of this stuff. But, like, some of these energies are fucking intense, man. And they just bring up all of this, like, oh, like, just like, oh, like, hot. Oh, and and to me, there's no right or wrong answer on anything. It really is just looking at yourself, just seeing yourself, just witnessing yourself, and going in and being like, where does that come from? Why do I feel like that? Why do I feel so burdened by this? Why do I feel so overwhelmed by that? Why do I feel so taken by this and overshadowed here? And so all of those things are all things for us to process. And my little lady over here, what is it, honey bunny? Why don't you come over here by mama? Come over here by mama. See, she gives like her back end, this whole back end area. Like, I know her hips and her legs and everything with the arthritis. I know they ache and it's cold as a motherfucker, and that always makes it worse. And but I still worry about that filtration system back there, and so trying to keep it clean. And I do all of these detoxing teas and stuff. So I don't know. I know that I keep having this weird GI, these weird things too, and I know it's from this goddamn fucking poison out here. So fucking bullshit, man. As the part is like, when are we gonna get to that part? When are we gonna get to this part where, man, I cannot wait until this fucking flip happens, whatever. I mean, I don't know, like, it's so tedious to me how long this drags out and drags out. It's like, I just want to get to this part and flip it and face it. But, we got to go through all this part to get people prepared for what's to come, because it's going to be so overwhelming. And so, I don't know. I just know that once we get there, it's going to be like, damn, now we're getting down to business. Now we're getting on the right track. Like, I'm sick of being on the wrong track. I'm sick of being poisoned every day. I'm sick of trying to figure out how to save somebody, and then when she keeps crying and crying, it's like, I'm failing. I don't know what to do. Anybody who has any more ideas over some different things that I could try and do for cleansing through the dog's urinary tract and stuff, any ideas, let me know. So anyways, I'll just go ahead and wrap it up and just get through this day. It's already fucking overwhelming. I already fucking have a headache. I already feel like shit. It fucking, and I don't even know if it's gonna rain or go into snow. I mean, it's been raining and raining and raining, but now all of a sudden it's like it may not be snowing here. It's just going straight down to like Kentucky and Texas and Ohio and all this whole area where they keep on being like, gonna be blizzard, cold, ice, shutting things down and stuff. So I don't know. Sometimes I keep on being like, what is gonna happen up here? Like, something's gotta happen. Like, these people just go around just like completely. I don't know. I don't know. It's just so weird. So weird. So, anyways, just remember what, to me is what is important. So I'll just remind you of what I believe is important is to work on yourself, is learn how to love yourself, love everyone, and how to have a loving day, because it is totally up to you. So anyways, if the powers that may be let me back here tomorrow, I will see you then. Talk to you later. Bye.